This is SEMA Central. My name is Kevin Ostie at the 2017 SEMA show. And right now I'm talking with Greg Parker, who's involved with one of the larger kind of facets of the SEMA organization, and that's the Wheel and Tire Council. Welcome to the stage, buddy.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here today.
So tell us a little bit about what the Wheel and Tire Council is, because here at the show, we see a lot of those type of products.
Yeah, so the Wheel and Tire Council is made up of member companies, mostly wheel and tire manufacturers, but we also have wheel and tire distributors, and then also there's a lot of accessories associated with wheels and tires, whether they be TPMS systems or brakes or other things. But it's a group of companies that come together and we kind of discuss technical issues, whether they be manufacturing issues or legislative or regulatory issues that specifically deal with the wheel and tire. So we have a council, a group of men and women who come together and kind of talk about those issues just to make sure that we have a voice in the industry and kind of give an opportunity to talk to the SEMA Board of Directors on things that are happening, the DC staff and those types of things. So it's a really good group that kind of fights for the wheels and tires.
Very cool. So do you guys have data on how big the wheel and tire section is of the industry, the aftermarket industry?
Yeah, so the data side of SEMA does their market study once a year. Obviously, wheels and tires are a very large piece of the pie. When you think about a vehicle, whether it's a brand new late model vehicle or an old classic vehicle, you know, one of the first modifications that folks make to a vehicle is obviously rims or performance tires or off-road tires. So it's a big piece of the puzzle, and typically it's that first piece of the puzzle. You know, if you're a 17-year-old kid, you know, you work all summer, you raise the money, you buy the nice wheels and tires, and it's your first kind of step into the accessorizing of a vehicle. So it's very important to our industry.
Yeah, and it's fun because modifying wheels and tires on a car is not hard to do.
Exactly.
And it also can have, next to paint, probably the singular biggest impact on the way that car looks.
Yeah, it definitely changes the overall street appeal, the drivability of a car. You know, when you put new wheels and tires on a car, you typically, you know, you just feel cooler riding down the road. You know, so it's very important. It's very important.
And of course, the safety aspect behind it too. So when you talk about dealing with some of the regulatory issues, can you give me a specific example of what one of those might be?
Yeah, so right now what we're running into is the technology in the cars, right? So John Warniak, the VP of Technology for SEMA, has all of the ADAS forums that are going on around SEMA this week. And one of the big topics that's related to ADAS is the amount of code or the amount of sensors that are on modern late model cars. The 2018 Ford F-150, it has 150 million lines of code in the vehicle. Compare that to an F-16 fighter jet that only has 25 million lines of code. So that gives you a sense of how much technology are in these vehicles. So you think about a backup sensor or a blindside detection sensor or any of these types of sensors that are in these vehicles. You know, if you lift that truck and you put larger wheels and tires on it, you know, what does it do to those sensors? You know, does it make them still compliant? Are they still safe for you to ride up and down the road? So those are the types of things that our council discusses. You know, what do we need to be doing? How do we stay compliant? How do we stay safe for our families? So that's a big piece of the puzzle. And as we move forward, it's only going to become more important.
150 million lines of code in an F-150?
It's unbelievable.
I'm still stuck there. Man, that's probably 10 space shuttles.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's definitely a lot different than the old days, right?
Yeah.
When it was just a carburetor and a key.
Well, sure. And a wheel speed sensor, maybe.
Yeah.
So do you guys interact with the OEs as far as getting that type of information?
We do work with the SEMA Garage. We have a wheel measurement database that's available to all of our members. Wheel measurement information is very difficult to get. Every year, OEMs are coming out with new wheel styles and new designs. You know, deep dishes are getting more popular, larger wheel diameters, 17, 18, 20-inch wheels. And so it's important to have these specific measurements so that in the aftermarket, when you're doing a plus size or you're adding a new set package, you know what fits, you're not going to have any rubbing issues. So we have access to the SEMA Garage. The SEMA Garage gets the new vehicles that are coming into the market, and we do all the correct measurements and are able to kind of offer that as a member benefit to our members, and it's very important.
Absolutely. Well, where can somebody get involved? What do you have to do to get involved with the council?
Yeah, so it's SEMA.org/WTC. is our website. Again, we're made up of member companies, but we also have individuals that are a part of the group. It's a very cost-effective opportunity. It's only $150 a year. We have right now over 150 members. We just had our reception the other night with a couple of hundred people that we always have on Tuesday night. So it's a really great organization, and if you work in the wheel and tire business, if you've had a chance to walk the South Hall over there and see all the wheels and tires and all the cool stuff, they call that the bling hall. If you've had a chance to get over there, you see that it's a big piece of the industry, and we need as many members to help us out as possible.
Right on. Well, thank you for bringing us up to speed on the round and round world of wheels and tires.
Yeah.
And a very interesting console here at the SEMA show in 2017.